to Shine Like a Diamond. I am Shine, and if you are new here, welcome, and if you are someone that's been hanging around for a while, thank you. Today is Tuesday Tip, and I'm very excited to start off this weekly video, and today is going to be how to get your drills as straight as you possibly can. Now, everybody is different with this. Some people can get them really, really straight and other people can't. But I am here to show you some easy, quick steps you can take to make it easier to get your drills straighter. So I have had this question come to me in so many different ways and so much times, and literally on all my platforms that I have. I don't feel like I'm an expert or that I do it the best. I think a lot of creators and subscribers out there do a much better job at this than I do. However, I have been asked so many times that I finally figure, okay, I'm going to do a video on what I do and what I've picked up from other people and other people's videos. So these are just the things that I do that work for me to keep my squares straight. I am definitely a multi-placer girl, but when I'm doing my squares, depending on like how much area I'm covering and stuff, it does depend on which ones I will use. I do love my 11 placer, but in this video, because I know most of you guys do not prefer to do that, I will be kind of downsizing that into just small little, I won't probably even use my multi-placer, to be honest, in this video. And I'll tell you why that in a second, just because I know a lot of you guys come to me and say, I can't use the multi-placer, but okay. So, there are things you want to do to definitely, before you even put the drills down. First, I will say though, what I tell most people is practice, practice, and practice. That is what is going to get your best accurate results, okay? So, and I just want to reiterate the fact that I am in no way a professional, and I don't feel like I'm the best one in this community to be teaching you guys this. However, y'all have asked. So, yeah. I'm going to actually have my daughter grab me something, because I typically, when I do this step, I use my phone, but I'm recording on my phone. So we'll do the other step first, and then we'll go into that step. So basically, before you, and I think I'll get a different color actually out to do this. When you are placing your drills, one of the biggest things that I find being really helpful is having your, well, these ones aren't going to be good either, because I want you guys to be able to actually see what I'm doing. Well, maybe those will be the best for this, just for this step, I guess. These probably will be, because they're nice and bright and you can see them really well. So, when you're placing down the drills, whether you're doing it one at a time or you're doing multi-placing, you want to make sure you have the best drills, because as we know, like knobbly bits, dimples, all that stuff can make your drills pop. We don't want no popping unless, you're having popcorn or something. That's a little bit different. We don't want you popping on the canvas. Also, there are companies, and I will say this stage of when this one came out from Diamond Art Club, they were having some gapping issues from other people. I never felt that it was an issue, because honestly, when you put your painting on a wall and you look at it, you're not going to see those gaps. But when you're up close to it, yeah, of course you're going to see the gapping. And I will take gapping on a canvas any day over popping, okay? So, one other thing I want to say is, I am at my coffee table because I have recently had surgery, and this is the place that is most comfortable for me. Unfortunately, that means that my lazy arm, which is the thing that holds my phone, is attached to the table. This table is one of those that comes up like this. So if the table moves, as you see right now, the camera does a little shaky, okay? So I apologize for that. I will try to keep it as still as I can, but it does happen. I do have another little tripod that I might be able to use to get certain shots so that you can kind of see them up close, or I might just grab my camera, pull it down close. I don't know. We'll see. So for this one, basically you want to get a tray that you like, that is going to be big enough for you to really do some shaking on the tray to get them all laid out, and enough where you, if you take, you know, quite a few out, that you're still going to have a lot. So I love these trays. I got these from Tori's Diamond Painting Tools, but you can also get these on Amazon. They're the same ones that have the little orange in them in the end. So, what I do is first of all, I try to get my drills past this, like, no line point, because it just annoys me. Okay, so you want to do, you know, you want to shake it a little back and forth like this. You don't want to tip too far, especially if you have a lot of drills in your tray, because you don't want to spill them. Once you've done that, then you kind of want to just, and a lot of times I'll put it down on my canvas and just kind of shake it really gently like this, so that those loose drills kind of fall down into the bottom, which you can have a little, like, I call it a pool of drills. You can have your little pool of drills down there. It doesn't hurt anything. But yeah, you just want to kind of shake it because you want to get all these drills nice in your lines. So then you're going to still have some stragglers. So then I often will get my pen, which is right here. Wasn't sure where it was. And I just kind of tap it, and I'll go up close to you guys so you can kind of see. I just kind of tap over the lines, like tap and scrape almost. So that way you get those drills down, and then once they're there, you can just kind of tap the edge of it like this as they fall down nicely. If you have areas like this gapping hole right here, see that gaping hole? There is probably a reason that they haven't fallen down. Reason being, there's probably a knobbly bit on it. So to find your, after you got your drills all nice and laid out like this, you then want to have a light source underneath. Because this is what we're going to use to try to find our either misshapen or the ones that have little knobbly bits or little holes, all that stuff. And so I turn my light pad on a higher setting than I typically would do. And I go and I figure out, okay, is there a reason? Yes, there is. Because this one right here had a knobbly bit, so we get rid of that. And then we kind of do a little shake and see how it went right together where it was. We do have a little area over here where there is also a little knobbly bit. And even if they're together, you do really want to look, because sometimes they will all go together nicely, but then there will still be little knobbly bits. So I just go through, and if you're worried about running out of drills, you can put these in like little containers. Like I have all these little containers that I sell on my Etsy store. Short plug. And you can put them in there to save them in case like you absolutely had to use them or something. But if you want to get your drills really, really straight, it definitely comes down to your drills and having them be in the best shape, because there's often just often drills that have little holes or knobbly bits, and they then make it really hard to get your lines really straight because they're not going together nicely. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of keep doing that, keep looking and pulling out all of the ones. Also, if there's little plastic pieces like so, let's see if I can get up close enough so you can see that. So see that little plastic piece? That was just in my tray. I try to get rid of those as well because, again, those can cause little problems for you. because you definitely don't want those on your canvas. So luckily, like, this color is pretty good. I only see a few that have the knobbly bits on them, or some people call them warts. But so you just want to go ahead and do that. But like, if you're working on something and you're going at your 310s, you might have to pull out quite a few, because as we all know, 310s are the worst. They just are. They're mass produced because they're so used, and because of that, they just, for whatever reason, have the most not malfunctions. They have the most, like, disfigurement, I guess. They're not perfect as all of their brothers and sisters and friends and all that stuff in here. So after you go ahead and do this step, this is when you can keep your light pad on, but this is when you want to look at them from over the top. So I'm going to kind of zoom in, you guys, so that you can kind of see. Okay, we found the flashlight. Good. Okay. So I just have this little handy dandy flashlight that I use, and it does work really well. So your drills, and then you want to kind of go over the top of them. And if you see any more, like, that have disfigurement or any little holes or anything, and again, this is like, if you want your so straight and pristine, you know, like you're gonna show it to the queen or something, like that kind of straight, this is that step. I don't do this typically. Every once in a while I will, if I'm doing it as a gift, because I just want it to look really well or really good. However, if I'm just doing it for myself or whatever, it's not that big a deal to me if a few of them are weird or not perfect. So then what I do is the section that I'm going to be working on, I will start out by kind of outlining and getting all of these outlined colors in a line. Now, the most important lines on when you're working at getting your squares straight are these ones out here. So you see how straight and nice that is? That is your most important areas, because if you have the outside ones done, the inside ones tend to fall into place a little bit better. So, now that I have kind of shown you this step, I'm going to get out a different color, because I'm going to kind of show you right here in this little area how I would go about keeping these nice and straight. And there's just not a lot of that color. I was just using that because the color I am going to be using is right like this, and you ain't going to be able to see that much. So, from the last step that I used. And I have already gone through and, you know, really looked at most of these, and made sure that there's no, like, major malfunctions. Or what is the word I'm looking for? I've already looked through these, and there is no, like, major disfigurement in any of these drills. So most of you probably know the step that I'm going to show you next, which is called checkerboarding. So checkerboarding is where you basically are going to checkerboard your colors. So kind of like on the checkerboard where it's black and white. This is like kind of what you're going to be doing. Sorry, the sprinklers are going to turn on outside and be a pain in the butt because they're going to be loud a little bit. So basically what I do is I go on the outside first of the area that I'm working on. And I do every other one, just like that. Then I go in and I step up here. And I'm going to step up here. Now, I don't know why, but I like to go in the diagonals. I think it's just, I don't know, point to point. It works really well for me, and it's kind of fun and satisfying in a weird way. I don't know. The most satisfying part about all of this, though, is when you get to go back in and fill in the other drills. So for this step, I highly, highly suggest that you at least try your tweezers. I have been using my tweezers for a while now after being kind of like challenged by a friend that is also a diamond painter, and that she uses her tweezers like solely for her squares. And I was like, you're crazy. I am not going to be able to do that. That's going to hurt my hand. They're not going to look good, blah, blah, blah. Well, you have a lot more control when you're putting the drill down with your tweezers. You just do, and I have got addicted to it. Those are stuck together. That's the other thing you want to try to avoid is drills that are stuck together. Anyways, I have got addicted to this step of this using of the tweezers, and I use them a lot. So, now you can go one at a time, just like this. Or once you get a little bit better at the tweezers, you can pick up 2. You can pick up 3. And sometimes, if you're lucky and it's a good sunny day out there, you can pick up 4 at a time and lay them down. When I'm checkerboarding though, I tend to only do 1 or 2 because, again, we're trying to get them to look the best, lay the nicest, all that stuff. And the more you pick up, the more of a risk you have of it going like kind of cockeye, weird, and not be perfectly straight. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish this part of the checkerboarding, and then we will come back and move on to the next step. Okay, so now we basically have all of these in the checkerboard fashion, as you can see. We're then going to go back, which is mine and most people's favorite parts about checkerboarding, is filling in the gaps. You can continue to use your tweezers, as I have many, many times, or you can go ahead and grab your pen at this point, and you want to fill them in. Now, if you are going where there is a drill all the way around it, then you are fine just putting it in there willy-nilly. But if you're going for one of these sides over here, then you want to make sure you are kind of picking the drill up from the side, if that shows. And then I kind of line it up like that to the line, and then I push it in that way. This just gives me more control as far as like the way it goes in, and I can keep those lines really, really straight that way. Before I did this, I would just kind of go in and fill it all in, and I would fill in the sides really quickly too, and then I was like, why is it not working for me, and so then I was like, okay, so then you can do the same thing from the other side. And when I found this out, it's very easy. It's not a hard step to learn, and you are able then to keep your lines a lot straighter. I know there's some of you out there that are like, who cares if your lines are straight? I get you, because a lot of my canvases are, I do them that way. However, this is a video for those of you that have asked and asked and asked, and I'm just trying to give you guys what you want. So, also, I did find another little misshapen, little knobbly drill. Wow, trill to the drill, because I can talk like a sock. Okay, I'm trying to pick this up, and it's giving me problems. I would like to show you this up close, because then hopefully you can see what I'm talking about how there's just this little knob on the side, and that prevents all of the drills from fitting in really nicely together, nice and tightly together. So that is why we get rid of those. So then, once you are in that inside area, that's when you can just, go to town. Be fast. You don't have to, really concentrate much harder, because they're already going to just kind of pop into place and line up with all of your other drills that are already lined up. Now, when I start out from the outside, when I'm doing a painting like this, I use a piece of cardboard or a credit card. Something that I find works really good is, you know how they send you those, like, you're pre-approved, and there's like a fake credit card in there. Those work really nicely to put up to the side of your canvas because they're plastic, so they're not going to like stick to your canvas to the side. And you can just put it up to the line and kind of just, I keep it there, hold it there. That way when you're lining up your drills on the outside, like I said, that's the most important line, everything is perfectly lined up. And you also don't have to like try really, really hard to get that. So we now have this area all done, and it's, I mean, there's a few little like places that aren't like 100% there, but if you're getting that picky with your canvas, you are not going to have as much fun diamond painting, unless that's your thing, is being like a perfectionist and it gets you like, you know, endorphins or whatever. It's not my thing though. It is not my thing. So, just remember when you're doing it, try to have fun. Don't be too hard on yourself. Practice, practice, practice. Make sure that line on the outside is perfect. And it looks really, really nice. Also, just make sure you go through your drills, pick out the ones that are, you know, not the good ones, and get rid of those. Checkerboarding is a perfect way to go, and it's a lot of fun, and it's really satisfying. And I personally love to checkerboard with my tweezers, and I checkerboard 2x2. So because I've been doing it longer, I have a little more control with my tweezers, so I can put down 2 at a time. And that, you know, works for me fairly well. I haven't had a problem yet. Also, they do have these, what they look like dinky, and they are kind of dinky and flimsy, but they really actually work pretty well. And there is 2 barrels in this. So, do you see that? So, this also works, because if you don't like tweezers, you want to try 2x2, make sure they're lined up really nicely, and you can use these tweezers. I mean, you can use this pen. It's also nice if you are, so sometimes I will use my tweezers, and I will go 2x2. Then, after I'm done with the first set, I will get my pen out that I just showed you, and do the 2x2s fill-ins. So where I took the pen over here and filled the one in at a time, that's when I would take my 2-placer pen and fill those in. And don't forget, when you're going through your, you know, when you're placing them, don't like worry. Like if you see one that's not absolutely perfect and it gets on your canvas, and it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. So don't worry about it too much. I mean, this is just to show you some little tips and tricks I have learned over the time of diamond painting for almost 3 years, which, holy cow, is a lot of years to be diamond painting. And, I mean, I know there's people on here, though, that have been going a long time. But anyways, you know, these are just kind of what I've picked up. And that little snap that you get when you place that drill in there is so satisfying, like, and so much fun that I cannot tell you. I like it. Sometimes I like to do my tweezers, and I'll take, so right here you can see how there is 2 drills right here. They're completely surrounded. So, yes, I could use my pen, or I could use my tweezers, and I place them over the top, and then I put my hands down and push them in. And you get the same little click into position with your hand that you would with the pen. And I love that feeling. Like, when you push it to click it in, it just is something else. I don't know why that's so satisfying, but it is. So I think that's going to be it though for this video. If you have any more questions, comments, whatever, please feel free to leave them below because I will look at them. I will try to answer all of them. And if you have any more video ideas that you would like seen done, techniques, you know, whatever. I have a lot of fun videos that are going to be coming up for you guys, so stay tuned, because when I say fun, like, I mean, you're gonna be, I'm gonna be like, go to the bathroom before you watch this, get some Kleenex, because you might be crying out of laughing so hard, kind of fun, and it's gonna involve some different creators and everything as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm hoping to have that up very soon. I'm just making sure that I am concentrating the most of my energy right now on healing so I can get back to my 110%. For you guys, which I feel like I'm getting there, so that is a wonderful thing, because this is the longest I've stayed out of the hospital, and so I have the IV antibiotics seem to be working. So with that being said though, if you have anything else, please leave it below, and don't forget, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and you are definitely loved more than you know. So with that, keep on shining, and I will see you later. Bye guys! Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already and would like to subscribe, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon so you can be notified anytime I put up a new video.